So help me understand. So we're in the bottom of a bear market. Profiting when you're trading NFTs and shitcoins is borderline impossible. But we're all buying Gucci bags. Is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah, we're aping them. We're aping them. We just got the 10K TF announcement. You burn 3 of their Gucci cloths for a duffel. You burn 1 for a wallet. I'm aping Milady's shitcoins and rolling that into Gucci duffel bags, physicals. It's the only time to do so. I don't see a better use of capital in this economy.
This whole thing is stupid, dude. The Gucci bag, first of all, I thought was $2,100. That's the maxi duffel bag with web. The large duffel bag costs $1,790. So this is a 17. So there's literally basically 0 discount on this purchase. Or if you're me, you buy 3 of those 10K TF Gucci cloths, hoping or with the intention of buying this just on a whim, and then instantly regret that purchase, try and dump it. No one wants to buy it, and then dump it this morning for a loss of like $250. Just poof, just get rid of that. And because 10K TF charges 10% fees on these freaking transactions, basically.
Who mentioned that yesterday? Who literally pointed out yesterday that if you sell one of these items, it's a 10% royalty?
We don't need to check the records here, Clemente. Let's pull this off the screen, please. Thank you. Because you're going to make me add the math.
How much did you lose on it?
That I lost more.
$500?
A few $100s. At least, I think about $350 just poof into thin air.
What made you change your mind? You decided you didn't want a bag
anymore? As soon as I bought it, I was like, I can't see myself actually carrying this bag. This is so stupid. And then the second thing I was thinking about, I was like, if I hold ETH, I'm gonna make 4x on this purchase eventually. So why wouldn't I just hold ETH? And then I was just like, these people are trying to convince me just to part with my ETH, and I'm getting tired of that game where they're charging me $1,600 for some stupid bullshit, basically. That literally, in this case, you at least get a bag. Everyone talks about utility, yet all those people talking about utility are not buying this bag. But this is the only thing that actually delivers real utility to an NFT holder. Where are all those people at that are complaining about utility pumping up 10K TF? I don't see them.
Utility people are, what utility means to them is make the price of the NFT go up so I can sell it and then never talk to you again, because that's how they operate. Nick, do me a favor. Next time you feel like lighting $400 or however much on fire, just don't click the button. Call me. Let's go to Gage and Tollner and just pick up the tab like that. That'll make you feel great. You'll be like, wow, I'm such a great business partner. I took out my business partner to dinner and we had a delicious meal. I paid for it with my personal credit card. He's happy. I mean, think about the upside of that compared to what you did.
Well, dude, I don't want to get into this, man. Like, you're
gonna make me spit my coffee out, dude. If you
Nick, it's a half a rack. You've lost a lot more. I've lost a lot more on stupid things. We've all lost a lot more. You know,
yeah, well, it's just half a rack. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, you really
you only get to buy in 4 Lululemon shirts. 4 to 5.
Don't fit me anymore because I'm so busy sitting in front of this computer.
You know what's heavy?
You're gaining weight, big dog?
Dude, I looked this morning. I was like, oh, this is all.
If I was to guess, it has something to do with your breakfast. Probably too many croissants, something with too much fat for breakfast.
Wrong.
You still doing the hard-boiled eggs?
Well, now I have scrambled eggs. I'm having tea. I haven't been drinking caffeine.
Who's scrambling those eggs?
Mess it. A random scrambler.
No, I'm like, are you scrambling them? Is the lady scrambling them? Who's actually, because boiled eggs, anybody can do that. That's super easy. You put the eggs in water.
She's
you
scrambling them. Okay.
She's a good cook, man. When you guys came over and did the dill salad, wow, that was exceptional.
Dill. I love dill.
It was really tasty. She stopped making those ever since she became my girlfriend, and so now, no, I'm just kidding.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
We got a high-end luxury clothing connoisseur in his own right on the show, Spencer. I believe you might also have some exposure to 10K TF, Spencer.
What control center are you looking at there, Spencer? Because literally I got this like shot from the underside of you looking at the ceiling, basically, like
so
you're in
I'll tell you what's going on, and I got to figure out where I put the camera now. But I just rigged up two 49-inch 8K monitors curved on top of each other. So I got one up here, got one down there, and
maybe
I just don't know where to put the camera now because it doesn't fit between them. And so if I put them on top, you got this view of the top of my head, which is extra shiny. I put it down here. So I got to figure it out. It's a work in progress.
Well, if you put us on the lower screen, then you'll actually be looking toward the camera. So that's a quick tip there.
We're going to go over, we're going to, work with Spencer on the setup. Those monitors, Spencer, those cost as much as these Gucci bags, don't they?
No, you know what? The Gucci bags were free because I already had the cloth.
Okay.
Sunk cost fallacy.
But you're going to turn the cloth into the bags?
I've been turned the cloth into bags. I'll have you know. I got a bag. I got a wallet. I'm going to pull it out. I was really thinking, I was like, you know what? Unlike Nick, I can actually see myself in luxury because I believe in myself. I think I'm going to do well in the future and I'm manifesting it. Right. And so I thought, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Right. And I picture myself pulling up to a nice weekend getaway in a cottage, right? Somewhere in the woods and just boom, Gucci bag, there you go. Nobody expects it.
In a 1987 Honda Civic.
No, I could see Spencer rolling out, like the camera kind of pans as he's walking up the stairs, has the Gucci bag, just, holding it perfectly, walking in on the phone with the other hand, closing some deals.
I was thinking the scenario that Spencer pictured was literally the same scenario that I had pictured, which involved a weekend getaway, because the only way that this actually makes any practical sense is it needs to be like in the trunk of your car and you need to just be carrying it into the place, but you're not getting on a plane with this duffel bag. Like, it's not going anywhere like that. You're not bringing it.
Nick, consider this. You really gonna pull up to Ape Fest in Hong Kong like a plebe?
No, what I'm not going to do is pull up to Ape Fest, actually, because I got to fly to Hong Kong, which I've never been to, by the way.
Well, you should go. It's great.
I want to go to Hong Kong, but I don't feel like I want the trip just to involve me hanging out in Hong Kong with a bunch of apes. Like, that just doesn't.
I've got a great plan for you. Go for Ape Fest and stay afterwards.
I'd rather just skip it and go to Japan. Okay, like Japan.
Nick's been looking for an excuse for us to go to Japan for literally 2 years.
Well, you missed the Japan conference.
Yeah, well, whoops. I guess I missed that one. But in all scenarios, this bag is pretty dumb.
Wish they used the actual cloth from the NFT. That pink, orange, yellow would have been like such a home run.
So here's the situation with this bag. A lot of people in the 10K TF space are pissed because there's not the counter side of this is basically there's no I don't know if you call it a redeemable or whatever it is. There's no like equivalent NFT after you buy the bag, and some of the other ones came with a digital corresponding asset, and this one doesn't. So a lot of the 10K TF people were fudding it, but I don't know. The whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, look, last comment, Spencer. I have an expensive bag. I have a $650 briefcase that I once purchased. This nice leather bag. It's gorgeous, and I never used the damn thing. Like, it's just never used, and it's not utility driven. Luxury is not about utility. It's all about looks, and it looks dumb.
No, it doesn't look dumb. No, it doesn't look dumb, but you're never going to use it for traveling. If I had that bag, it would become my gym bag, because as soon as you start adding like the amount of clothes and stuff that you would take to go away, it loses its beautiful duffel shape, and it doesn't look Gucci anymore. So I'm with Nick. You put it in the back of your car, you drive off, but you're not taking that as your hand luggage on the plane or on the train. It's not going to fold and look nice. But hey, look, I still think it's a cool bag, but it's not a travel bag. So Spencer, careful when you go to Hong Kong, because the game out there, it ain't like what you're wearing this morning. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think it's probably
shouting out the Hong Kong drip. I mean, like, Spencer, you're going to have to bring that different gravy if you go out there. Shout out to our commenter saying that Spencer's IRL drips is just a different gravy. I'm going to be incorporating that into my whole life now. I love that. Just saying it's a different gravy. Like, dude, me and the boxing gym, that's a different gravy. You feel me? Anyway, Spencer, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what? I'm proud of 10KTF for burning it here, because here's the thing. All of these NFT projects keep increasing supply. They have more and more liabilities as a function of time. And 10KTF said, no, we're going to give you a $2,000 Gucci bag for 3 of these fuckers, right? They're gone. Gonzo. Decrease the number of NFTs in our ecosystem. We're going to give you a $300 wallet for some of these. Gonzo. Out of the ecosystem. We don't have to do shit. We don't have to provide you utility value. Fuck all. Gone. You know what? That's great. And Signal, you know, I know my drip this morning isn't Hong Kong drip. This is Nifty Portal morning show fucking drip, though. Look at every single person. All I got to do is put on a baseball cap, and I'm gravy. I'm extra gravy. On the
we all got black baseball caps today, too. Like, this is really, we're right in line, baby.
No, I don't know what. I don't know.
Hold up, Signal. I'll be right back. I'm going to be extra drippy this morning.
Okay, but I've got to say, the times I've met Spencer IRL, he's drippy as hell. His gravy is like French gravy. He has the best merch ever. I'm just taking the piss right now. But back to the bag. What? Nick, I'm with you. The reason why I didn't buy it is because it's just not a practical everyday bag. But the wallet, I like
get a wallet, Nick.
I would never use this wallet, because the wallet that I use, which I don't have next to me, is like, I like compact wallets, and all those luxury ones are all about the billfold style. This is bullshit again. Yet another poor utility. I remember this guy came on the TechCrunch Disrupt stage, and he was talking about a case that he made for the iPad, and it was like the dumbest bag I've ever seen. I forget who it was. It was a famous fashion designer. It shows how much I'm in the fashion space. But basically, he came up, he talks about this luxury, $5,000 iPad case that he made, and it's literally like a zipper around the case that you need to use. Can you imagine zipping and unzipping every time you want to use your iPad? Like, you just throw this thing on your desk and you just like grab it and you write some notes on it. I'm not going to go through this like zip and unzip process. But also shout out to Spencer. Yeah, no, I mean, big on them. They've gone from 400,000 NFTs down to 399,700. So that's like pretty exciting in my opinion as well, which is huge utility for all of the holders. Pretty excited about that.
Dude, they're burning more than ETH post-merge.
It's basically the same thing. Look, I mean, I'm glad that we heard from our resident fashionista Signal on the Gucci bag. I can picture Signal pulling up to the gym dressed in all black with the black shades and the bag.
No, I'm not taking that bag to the gym, man. No. Like, if I walked into my gym wearing that bag, like, my gym's a boxing gym. No. You get sent out. You get sent out. Yeah, of course, Easy. Of course you are.
Easy's gonna buy it. Just listen to Little Pump Gucci Gang, dude. Just
the whole time.
While he holds it, he's gonna be wearing it, listening to just a song, bouncing around with the bag.
With the bag on, just rocking it in person, rocking it proudly, letting you know. And every time someone says, "Oh, dude, that's a nice bag," I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, guess how much I paid for it."
Dude, all I want to say is Bodago's is about to get in the leather goods business. Okay, so it's time that we find the leather manufacturer. So we have to kill a couple cows. Okay, but
well, they already probably got killed for beef, dude. It's like
exactly. And so it's multi-use. You're actually doing the cows a favor by purchasing the leather goods in this
cycle of life. They lived a good life, eat a lot of grass. Everyone dies.
Okay, nice guys. Real quick, in all seriousness, go ahead, Nick.
Last thing, I just wanted to say on the clothing commentary here, I'm the only one that gets prepared for this morning show. Basically, I take a shower, I put on some clothes. I'm just coming at everybody here, okay?
Some of us have been working for an hour, Nick. Some of us have been up bright and early.
Oh, me too. I pushed some software this morning. Actual code.
We'll talk about it after the call. No, don't leak anything.
Software this morning.
We know you showered.
Stop the faucet.
He's already. Nick's always ready to clap back talking about software code deployment. In all seriousness, when it comes to this bag, I think this is actually good because I think it's good for NFT brands to actually make high-end physical collectibles and have you burn NFTs in exchange for those high-end physical collectibles. I do think that's good. The high-end physical collectibles have to actually be like well-made though. And we've historically seen NFT people be like, I don't really give a shit. Take like whatever kind of bullshit I'll put out, you know?
I want to shout out all the people that are still holding on to the 10 KTF comfy hoodies like they're going to get something valuable. I mean, dude, those hoodies are ugly. I mean, I got famous for one of them. But literally, I have celebrities calling me because of those hoodies. But here was the crazy thing. I don't even think you needed the blank hoodie, right? Like in order to get that. Maybe you did. I don't think you did. So like,
Spencer's saying no.
What is the point? I see a blank pilot helmet. Are we getting pilot helmets? I would like a pilot helmet. That's the one that I'm looking at here saying like, okay, it's time that we put that in season. And put a
that would be a fire collectible. That'd be a sick collectible.
Actually, the Renga Haas collection, which is only 1,000, which is only 1,000 PFPs. If you enter into the draw, one of the prizes is an F1 helmet, and then there's like a real one, and then a little one. So that would probably be a better buy at 0.08 mint than getting I'd
love to see Gucci cloth.
And what?
In the helmet. Yeah, in the helmet. I mean, Nick, you already expressed that you think that the F1 racing jackets are straight fire. I mean, there's some outfits we want to see Nick model, that's for sure. Maybe at Breakpoint in Amsterdam at our event, ladies and gentlemen, you'll get a little runway show from Nick. We'll put him in different outfits. We'll walk him out in front of people. It'll be a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have we were going to talk about some other stuff, but no, we're going to just get right into it here. That is a badass helmet. Well, Nick has multiple motorcycle helmets. Nick has the most motorcycle helmets that you'd have for just having one motorcycle. I feel like you'd love to have this one.
That's only 35 pounds.
Yeah, that's not safe to wear.
I feel like that's not street legal. 35 pounds, dude. The Bell motorcycle helmet costs more than that.
Yeah, my basic ass Bell motorcycle helmet's like $80. So I'm not going to buy that pimped out one for 35 pounds. That seems like it belongs on a mantle and not on your head when you crash into a homeless person here in New York City the way I did. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. That actually happened, everybody. Motorcycle accidents, not fun. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a quick shout out.
E-bike accidents. You got to clarify there. Motorcycle accidents are a different beast.
For sure.
Odds of death higher.
For sure.
E-bikes are just, the bear market motorcycle, right? I can't knock you guys for not being able to afford Gucci, not being able to afford a motorcycle. Look at the price of E. Look at the price. Look at where other dudes expanded are at. Like it's just not your fault. I want
absolutely.
You to know that.
100%. So look, ladies and gentlemen, I got to shout out today's free NFT artist, BlooWoods. So BlooWoods is a 3D artist and animator that is renowned for transforming compelling, surreal visual concepts into reality. Blue's artistic vision shines through the ethereal imagery in his artwork, layered with stunning visual effects. Make sure you follow him on Twitter for some incredible 3D art and visuals, and stay tuned till the end of the show for the password for the free NFT and reveal of his companion drop on Manifold. So this is part of the Artist Spotlight series, ladies and gentlemen. Been a little bit since we had an Artist Spotlight free NFT on the show. The Artist Spotlight series is not sponsored. In fact, we pay the artists that participate. The idea behind it is to showcase some artists in the NFT space and really, get their work in front of collectors. So if you are an artist that's interested in participating, we have a link. Clemente, I'm sure, will pin it to the top at the end of the show or something. But for now, pay attention to everything, all things BlooWoods. Check out the artwork. Really badass. And at the end of the show, we'll have the free NFT code. We got the weather report. We got Kixie about to run with the weather report. Kix, please take it away.
You got it, Coach. Today is Friday, the 28th of July. Volume coming in, $13 million. We got Blur at 8.9, OpenSea 2.7. Looking over at the leaders, Apes 31, Mutants 5.6. Maybe they're finding a floor here. We got Punks at 47.6. D-Gods 8.1, Azuki 5, Captains 5.1, and Pudgy's sitting at 4.4. Over the past 24 hours, Otherside shared a recap of a small focus group who tested the new game in Los Angeles. Participants got to see some of the artwork that's been in development over the past year and played the new game as their ape avatar, traveling to a tier 5 land. CyberKongz reduced Ethereum supply for the Genkai sale from 9,000 all the way down to 3,000. Every mint on Ronin and Ethereum will receive one free Genkai airdrop, which will be vested for half a year. Mint price is still 0.25, but is now 98% minted out. Frank DeGods tweeted, people are insane to want to join the NFT ecosystem right now. I'll tell you what, I think we all feel pretty insane to be here. Due to creators being unlikely to make money, founders subject to a life of indentured servitude, and communities who don't care what anyone is building. But Frank says he feels calm about what DeGods is building and knows what is right for that community. Lastly, themes and variations by artist Vera Molnar continue to be a big 6Xer for the minters. The 500-piece collection started in a Dutch auction at 20 ETH, sold out all the way down at 1 ETH. Secondary sales, we're seeing rare ones go for 18 ETH. Last sales at 7. That was a cook. That lady's 99 years old, still slaying the art market. Quickly looking over at crypto, we got Bitcoin 29.1, ETH in the mid 1800s, Solana trying to reclaim 25 bucks, Ape below 2 at 1.9. Back to you in the studio.
Fantastic weather report, Kick. Some updates from the Nifty Daily Digest, the daily newsletter published from the Nifty.com. You need to have an account at the Nifty.com to claim today's free NFT. So what are you waiting for? Go make one. Connect your Phantom wallet while you're at it and you're on the site. Beeple's first sculpture, Human One, which sold for $29 million at Christie's in 2021. Way to get the sale in when the year was still 2021, Beeple, before the NFT market crashed. It's going to be displayed at the Crystal Bridges Museum in Arkansas, featuring an interactive scavenger hunt where visitors can unlock NFTs by identifying clues within the artwork. I saw this piece in person at Christie's in 2021. Very cool piece. Gotta tip my hat to Beeple. He's got some good stuff going on. Cool Cats has sunset their Cooltopia game and its associated milk token after nearly 18 months, citing the decision is going to allow them to prioritize resources towards delivering gaming experiences through their strategic partnerships. So we see the final sunset of the failed Cooltopia game after 18 months. That's it for your updates from the Nifty Daily Digest. Look, we already kind of covered the Gucci and 10 KTF story. Do we have to talk about CyberKongz again, or can we move on from that one? I'd be curious if anybody wants. Yeah, we'll just move on from that one. Oh, Clemente?
I just think the only thing I just think it was a marketing scheme, honestly, making the mint price super high, trying to get as much as possible, and then cutting the supply. So I thought it was interesting. I think more teams will do that going forward. But yeah,
it's interesting. Nick?
Well, what was interesting about it as well was in terms of like you could pay to unlock the NFT earlier, which I actually thought was an interesting dynamic. So it was free to mint, I guess, for CyberKongz holders, but then you could pay to unlock it earlier. I like that. It also just shows, dude, nobody can handle large quantity supply at this point unless you're buying your own floor. Like it's just not a positive recipe at this point in time. I'm interested also in what Frank is like
looking up.
The post that he was talking about, and I'm trying to see where the link is in here because it's not linked in this doc. Clemente, maybe you could help me find that.
Hey,
link.
Clemente, Nick like decided that he wanted to see that one specific tweet today. What the hell are you doing?
I just think Clemente should know when he's just not delivered something up to my expectations. But anyways, so the in terms of the space, I feel like the thing that he was saying is like spot on, and it's the NFT space is hands down just one of the most difficult spaces to be operating in. and it's primarily because I think what the key is, the reality is anybody can go and buy an NFT, and the result is like what they expect for that. And there's a wide range. Well, there's actually two buckets of people that exist within this ecosystem. There's ones that just believe, and that's what they do. They go and buy it. They say, hey, I'm waiting to see what these people produce. And then there's the other set of holders, which nobody wants, yet drives a large amount. Well, actually, there's three. The second would be those that like bought one, want something significant for it, and get furious the moment that nothing is delivered. And then the third bucket is all of the people that are swapping hands back and forth. And they're increasingly disappointed because in order for them to make money, you still need people to come in and like continue to buy up the floor. Like you can't, the traders can't just swap between themselves indefinitely. Although I don't know, maybe Spencer can correct me on how the Magic the Gathering space operates, but I'm assuming the majority of the people collecting there, there's some ecosystem of people that enjoy playing the game, that enjoy the collecting aspect of it, and aren't just in it for the pure speculation. And that market has probably matured to a degree where the speculators are on a much longer term horizon, where they're not sitting there looking at the daily price volatility, which is really where I actually think we drive some of the more challenge. That's like the most challenging aspect of this space, is that like theoretically the float on these NFTs should get smaller and smaller and smaller, but it's somehow like largely representative of this entire pool of people that are not selling. And now like the 15 people that were like, I just want to get the hell out of this and lose my $50, like me with the Gucci NFT yesterday. I somehow drive the floor down. So yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack with that specific one. The 10% royalty we talked about, the fact that it's in ERC 1155. And lastly, I mean, really the fact that in the NFT space, there's two things that only a small percentage of participants are interested in. And those two things are in real life events and physical goods. The vast majority is interested in trading the assets as if they were just crypto tokens for like short-term gains, I think, like you just pointed out. So there's a lot to unpack with that specific one. I guess let's talk about Otherside and the Legends of Mara sneak peek, because this is by the #1 entity in our space, Yuga Labs, who actually owns 10KTF now. But it hasn't been Yuga season for a little bit now. And I think everybody believes that Yuga is probably moving as fast as anybody in the NFT space when it comes to building something of substance. In this year alone, we've already seen a rollout of Dookie Dash, which was a fully playable game that attracted the attention of professional video game players and, got some real solid press, I would say, based on, the participation of those players. Then they released Heavy Metal. Not as overwhelmingly of a positive response. Spencer was very vocal on Twitter, commenting on the mechanics of the game. And now we see this sneak peek, and these sneak peeks, man, they look better and better. In my opinion, my untrained eye, I'm not a gamer. I've obviously played video games in my life, but I don't own any consoles or play any video games now. But it looks pretty damn built out, if you ask me. I think it's so cool that they have this full 3D version of the swamp. Knowing, the commenters that exist in this industry, I'm sure that as I say this, a lot of people are going to respond and say that game looks like crap, which is a very normal, commentary that we see from people in the industry. But it looks like things are moving right along with this Otherside game. Nick?
A couple things. One, they mentioned here that they're playing with the 3D versions of their Bored Ape. This is interesting because they had done an announcement before that all apes were going to get their sandbox avatars, basically. And that just never happened. And I feel like they just kind of abandoned it and focused on this specific aspect of things. The one thing I wonder is like, for right now, it feels like they've built this world and there's social interaction within it. And they're really focused on like event dynamics, essentially. And there'll be, but I don't know what the like game element of it is, or if instead it'll just be like one-off installations. And in the interim, you can go and interact with people in that world should you desire, which I think is kind of interesting. But I don't know what that world is. Instead, it feels comparable to like Decentraland or Sandbox. I don't know what the game elements of it are other than like you walking around in this plot of land. So it's much more like Second Life or some metaverse world.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably the single most interesting thing in the NFT space, like when you sort of think about everything going on in the space. I'd love to know what Spencer thinks. I want to hear what Kix thinks. But it is one of those things where I could see, and I'm not predicting this, but I wouldn't think that it's the wildest, most ridiculous thing if in like 3 years or 2 years, when the game is like fully built out, if it is attracting a large user base because it's actually a good game and it is an actual breakout mainstream game. If everyone's like, man, I could have bought the Otherside lands for like 0.5 ETH or whatever the bottom is, 0.6 ETH, and it was so dumb to not do it. I could see that happen. We've seen it so many times. I mean, Ethereum itself cost $80 at one point and no one was buying it. So I'm just saying, these are the things that nobody wants to touch it. And then 2 years later, everyone regrets not touching it. I'm just saying, I don't have any Otherside land, but yeah.
I feel like price compression is upon us basically. And the move will be more exciting from like buying something for $200, selling it for $400 than it is for like buying it for $200 and it's selling for $15,000.
Yeah, real quick, I want to shout out this commenter that is really, proving my point in a big way. We got Ginkgo here on the YouTube. He said, Otherside is going to be a sausage fest of the lamest crypto bros you can imagine. Sure to be a massive success. Laugh emoji. Thank you, Ginkgo. Appreciate it.
That's video games. That's like he's literally just describing video games. Like I don't know how that's like a dunk. Like, oh, there's gonna be a bunch of dudes playing a video game. Like, oh wow, man, that's a diss.
Sounds kind of fun to me. A bunch of bros being bros.
That's being like, yeah, really dude. He usually goes and plays basketball with a bunch of dudes every weekend. What a loser.
Spencer, what are your thoughts on Otherside and some of these sneak peeks?
Here's the thing. I think your bet on Otherside is, will there be a digital land metaverse narrative in the next cycle? And I'm 50-50 on that. It was a strong narrative last cycle. You saw Sandbox pump to Valhalla. People like the pumps on virtual land last cycle were obscene. Yeah. Right? Nobody delivered. Right? Nothing meaningful ever got made. You're like, oh, when it's this big thing that people play, that doesn't matter. It just matters that it's the most played virtual metaversey land thing that's going on. And I think it's a pretty low bar for it to be that. I think I'm pretty confident that Otherside will beat out Decentraland, will beat out Sandbox. I don't think it's particularly close there, right?
Same.
For the spot of the best NFT metaversey thing. Now, the thing is, despite all the insane hype that it had last time, like, I don't know that narrative will be as strong in the next cycle. And I'm talking to some really smart crypto people who are very skeptical of the metaverse narrative in the next cycle. Just talked to one of, I would say, top 5 most knowledgeable people in NFT space yesterday. And they were like, metaverses? Like, are we still doing that? Like, is that still a thing? Because, I just don't know, right? Now, maybe Otherside proves it wrong, right? And I think it's really easy. If you have a metaverse digital land thesis, and your metaverse digital land thesis could even be, I just think there's a greater fool than me in the next cycle that will have a metaverse digital land thesis and that will buy my bags, right? Not an unreasonable thesis. Otherside is the clear winner in my book, right? And I love to look for that. When I want to buy an NFT or something like that, is this the clear winner in its category? And I want to say that Otherside to me is one of the few things where it feels like they're a clear winner in their category and no one's remotely close, right? Like, I don't think Sandbox land, I don't think Decentraland land is anywhere near Otherside. And to me, that's rare, right? Like, there's not even, I find it hard to think of other things where it's like nothing is particularly close, except maybe like Punks and maybe kind of Fidenzas. But, Fidenzas, you could even look at other art blocks, right? Punks, you could look at Apes. Otherside, like, what else? You're really gonna buy Sandbox land? Like, really? You know, the year is 2023, right? In the year of our Lord, 2023, you're gonna buy fucking Sandbox land? Like, come on.
Well, look. You're right that Sandbox and Decentraland, despite having a head start, I think have underwhelmed. I don't think that anybody really is saying that that's a controversial take, because I believe both of those brands, those businesses have been around since 2018, maybe even late 2017. Matty DCL Blogger was trading, infamously trading Decentraland land in 2018. My man Soldier Boy Draco said, add him on Decentraland, meet him in Genesis Plaza right now. I wonder how many people took him up on that. That must have been lit. But yeah, or Nick?
Well, Spotty's like working on Decentraland stuff, and I think there's other people that are like think that in the next bull run there's some side of this. My biggest thing is that I think like the bottom line is, where are people hanging out that like online? That's all that matters. And all of the speculation on it is just that. It's the same as the virtual land speculation is the same as it was with all of the ICO stuff in 2017. Like literally nobody built a business, and there was like nothing that was delivered. It's so funny. Like it's also interesting when people. I feel like there's so many angry bag holders that exist in this space, and they're coming from a place where they like they thought they were going to go and just quickly make money. Like in
life-changing money, click the mouse a few times.
Exactly. And they get pissed off if like you don't give them something that like delivers on that promise. The thing that's crazy, or the most beautiful side of things, which makes me think like what we should really do is just not do this podcast and go off into the distance and just go quote build, I guess. Because like you don't hear a lot of people that are being like, my Sandbox land is not delivering the utility that I was looking for. Basically, like no one ever said, like I never hear anybody.
No one complains about Sandbox.
Like it's just not a thing that exists, and it's because they're busy off building things. And I don't know what and the land is still worth something. It's actually
31 ETH. Oh my God, I didn't know it was that low.
There's 130,000 of them as well.
Yeah, but I mean,
wait. But you shouldn't say, oh, it's so low. You should say, look at Otherdeed expanded is at 0.34 ETH.
Wow.
And which would you buy?
I would buy Otherdeed expanded for sure.
Is it close?
No,
right?
I would buy Otherdeed expanded. I might buy it now because I'm just like, well, geez, like I don't know. I feel like
Either Sandbox is way overpriced or Otherdeeds is way underpriced. It's got to be one of the two.
Are you buying Otherdeed with the fund right now? And then we'll go to Signal. Spencer, tell us, Spencer.
Potentially. I'm working on a big deal.
Otherdeed, baby. We've only been talking about it for 3 months.
Wait a minute. Spencer, did you just say you're working on a big deal?
Maybe we'll see. I'm working on some stuff. We don't currently have that many. We have a couple, but it is a collection that I will own at some point in size. It's like there's very few things where I'm like it is a target to pick up during the bear market, and that is like top of my list.
Spencer, are you targeting like certain lands or just like going for the floor, right? Like I actually think there's more value in like the sub 10K ones, the biogenic swamp pieces.
You know, I think it's important to me that they're on like historic ether, you know, so like that's really all I care about in my buys.
Yes, now we're talking historical Ethereum tokens. Now we are speaking my language. That's the valuable stuff. Signal, what were you going to say?
I would say, first of all, I really liked what they teased in that small focus group. I thought it looked really cool with the whole flying around thing. And I'm sure it does echo some game that I'm not aware of where people meet up in avatar form or whatever. But my point is that, we mentioned how long Sandbox and Decentraland have been doing this. So the fact that they don't have the attention that they should have for how long they've been going goes to show you how hard this is to do. I know it's it's not because of lack of funding or through lack of effort that Sandbox and Decentraland are where they are. I think in the bubble that we're in, Otherside would be the number one bet to take. If you're taking a thesis of which metaverse land is going to make it, I would say they are the best positioned. But I think in the bigger context of which other companies will try and get this, that like Otherside isn't just competing against Decentraland and Sandbox, they're competing against established household brands. And that's where I think they can just lose because, you know, Clemente brought it up very quickly, but how much money Meta have lost in the development of the direction
billion.
that they want to go is 22 billion. Obviously, their goals are much bigger. They've got hardware. They're trying to do things that, you know, haven't even come out yet. But my point is, I think the metaverse and the direction that I think a lot of people imagine where we're going is going to be such a huge cost that the winners can only really go to companies that have the pockets to take a loss for years and years and years, and then finally, you know, come out with a product that people want. And then that product has to be something which has a very low barrier to entry in terms of cost. It can't be 0.3 land because people are just not going to put that kind of money down. If you just look at the, you know, sort of the current economic conditions, people are lining around the corner to go and get WorldCoin just so they can have, you know, a little bit of free money. Like those are the conditions that we're in right now. So I think in our bubble, Otherside, yes, I agree with your thesis. But when we look outside of that bubble, I think the trophy will go to an established company who has deep pockets that can fund this for a long time and give it to free to and give it for free to customers.
Interesting. Very interesting. Kicks?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Signal definitely like took a lot of what I was going to say in a good way. Like I think she's like spot on with her analysis. First of all, we're dunking a lot on Sandbox Land, but I minted Sandbox Land and I'm still up 2x in ETH. I also, before the big meta pump in November 2021, it was at like 0.3 ETH. Otherside's down 90% from mint. So I mean, like as much as we can trash on Sandbox, you know, Sandbox holders are sitting a little bit more comfy than anyone that minted Otherside. That's just facts. And what Signal said is spot on, is that, you know, for any of this to really succeed, we're not looking at like who's the best in this small bubble, because for Otherside to actually succeed, it needs to, you know, go acquire like mass market potential. And that's not easy to do. And there's a lot of existing competitors out there. We have Roblox, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto, Fortnite. You could maybe throw World of Warcraft in there. But like, if you want to see what a real metaverse looks like, go onto Twitch TV and watch Grand Theft Auto role-playing streams. Like, that's literally what the metaverse is going to look like. And they're super successful, super established, and they're working on their next game. So, yeah, like Otherside, I think in terms of like the graphics and what they're trying to build, can definitely has the potential to go more, you know, mass market than maybe Sandbox. But having said that, Roblox and Minecraft are massive games, and they're both on Sandbox quality graphic level. So it's not always the graphics that wins out. It's the gameplay and the mechanics. So, yeah, I think what Otherside is working on is awesome and great. But like, in order for them to really capture mass market potential, they have to be doing something that's a differentiator from those other established successful brands that I mentioned: Roblox, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto, Fortnite. Like those are multiple billion dollar companies that they're going up against. You know, that it's going to be tough competition, but you know, I hold Bag, so I hope they win.
Well, I think people just don't believe that, you know, for whatever reason, people just flat out don't believe that Yuga Labs is going to be able to make something that's like what you'd call like a crossover hit, like something that breaks out outside of Web3. And I understand why people would think that, just given the turbulence that the NFT market has faced over the past year plus. But the thing you have to keep in mind is they've hired these top talents from the traditional gaming world. So it's not like a bunch of crypto bros are like, yeah, let's make a game. At this point, you literally have the guy from Blizzard, and is the other guy from Riot Games or Activision? I think it's Riot Games, maybe. The COO and the CEO at this point, or the CTO and the CEO, two C-level people at Yuga are heavy hitters from the traditional gaming world. So, I thought Spencer was going to say something. He's just stretching out. He's just getting ready for his next thing. Well, yeah, we'll have to see what comes of, you know, Otherdeed and what's going on there. Real quick, I want to shout out today's free NFT artist, BlooWoods. So this is for the Artist Spotlight series. BlooWoods is a 3D artist and animator that is renowned for transforming compelling, surreal visual concepts into reality. His artistic vision is shining through the ethereal imagery of his artwork. Really, really, really cool stuff. Clemente has it pulled up on the YouTube screen right now. Make sure you follow BlooWoods to check out these visuals. They are absolutely badass. And the free NFT is going to be dropping today. This is part of, again, the Artist Spotlight series, the series that is designed to put a spotlight on talented artists in the NFT space. There's also a manifold drop that Blue is putting out today. I'm sure Clemente has all those links pinned to the Twitter show, so make sure that you check it out. Real quick, I want to talk about some NFT innovation in the form of content creation when it comes to Pudgy Penguins, in the form of mobile apps and social when it comes to the Reddit Generation 4 NFTs. Why don't we start with those? Reddit dropped its 4th generation. They're already on the 4th generation of NFTs on their app. They partnered with artists like Klon from Cool Cats, Nate Bear, who is a former Artist Spotlight artist and friend of the show, very talented artist. Shout out to Nate Bear. And Penguin, who is another artist that a lot of people in the NFT space are familiar with. They've been able to onboard millions to NFTs without the millions even knowing that they are NFTs, as Reddit, as you can imagine, has traditionally been very, very, very anti-NFTs. What do we think of this? There's so much, onboarding millions discussion. Well, here's Reddit doing it. And looks like Clemente has pulled up some customizable avatar stuff that looks like it's pretty cool. What do we think of this? Spencer, is this something you pay attention to at all? Or because it's not, high-end luxury collectibles, is this just not something that you really pay attention to?
I mean, I'm aware it's going on, but does it dominate my thought ever? Is it something that I look into buying or selling? No, not really. I mean, I think Reddit avatars are an interesting case study in a lot of the sort of mass adoption narrative, but I'll be honest, I don't really see the mass adoption narrative, right? My view is and always has been that this is a interesting financial asset and is an interesting way of having stakeholdership in a company and financially backing a company, right? It may not legally be that, but that's kind of where I think NFTs make sense. NFTs just as pure collectibles or as mass adoption collectibles will always be a part of the ecosystem, right? NFTs as video game assets that may not be financial assets will always be part of this ecosystem, and it's beneficial overall to it. But if you want to make those big swing trades, you want to make that if you want to be a full-time trader, if you want to professionally run a fund, I don't think that this is the way that you make the big money. But I could be wrong, right? That's at least my take.
Yeah, fair enough. Nick, what do you think of those Reddit avatars?
I mean, they keep dropping a lot of them. The story that people, if they keep selling out, that's a great thing. Reddit's having their own challenges in the sense that, I don't know if the community protests have ended. One of the subreddits that I frequent only yesterday came back after a month of just kind of posting absolute garbage on the timeline, and they were all pissed over the API. It was kind of absurd, but man, I mean, if they keep selling these, that's the cool part is that they do keep selling. I don't think people are viewing this as secondary activity, and instead it's just a revenue generating channel for them. It feels like stickers inside of Line app, for example, the messaging app that's popular in Japan, or WeChat or something like that. I think that this is more representative of what I figured the PFP market was when I first got into this, and I remember writing about PFPs and being yeah, the PFP market, if 20% of social media users end up using this, which is let's say there's 400 million people. Peel looks frozen, by the way, so I don't. Oh, you're back. The 400 million people end up buying this out of 2 billion or something like that, and they each spend $20 a year. Then you have a
Big
whatever,
industry,
$8 billion a year industry in terms of sales. That's kind of how I viewed the market. Instead, it became this like speculative thing around like everyone buying these PFPs, but an $8 billion a year market is nothing to sneeze at. That said, Facebook had shut down their virtual gifts because it was only making $1 billion a year. And I think that for a lot of apps, this feature coming back is kind of an incremental thing for most of these places. I think it's cool.
Fair. Yeah. Easy. Any thoughts on the Reddit stuff?
I think they're just taking a different approach to the market. I saw Sneaky actually commented this on the comments too. Like, they're not trying to sell out every drop instantly. They just want consistent options for people to buy avatars to participate, which I think is a net new flow for NFTs. We focus a lot on like the sellout and always selling out instantly to drive hype, whereas they're going for a much wider audience base where it's like, we just want people to be able to spend at any time and get something that they can relate to and think is cool and work with artists and drive action. Which I'm like, this is a nice spin on digital collectibles, because you go to things like, you look at like the Fortnite models where skins don't sell out. People can buy them at any point and you can have millions of them. And I think that that's something that we may see a change and a shift too, where it's like people feel comfortable leaving stuff open for anybody to buy as time comes and goes, more so because they're interested in having that asset versus buying it as a financial instrument to potentially make money on.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be interested to see where it goes. Moving on, last story, content creation. Pudgy Penguins. They have a building in public YouTube channel. I think a lot of people are aware of that. Lil Pudgy or their Instagram is actually very popular. Hundreds of thousands of followers. I want to say over 500,000. The YouTube channel is focused on the behind the scenes video of them trying to build a brand and a successful toy business. No real mention of NFTs. I mean, I think there's occasional mention, but it's not like we're NFT guys. And then they're also building a Lil Pudgy's Instagram account using the same playbook that the Pudgy Penguins Instagram account used, which they've had massive success with. In the video, Luca was just driving in a Rolls Royce. So very, very cool stuff there. What do you make of this for, like, from a content creations perspective? Wow, Lil Pudgy's already at 13,000 followers on Instagram. These guys know how to build Instagram profiles for sure.
They were at real quick. They were at 5,000 followers when I checked on Monday. So just absurd growth there.
Really strong, really strong growth. Signal, looks like you wanted to chime in on this.
No, I remember seeing on like a video earlier this week that said the main account or the Pudgy's account has a reach of like 40 million over the last 30 days. Absolutely insane, like the growth they have on that side. I really like the way that Luca is approaching content, especially in this in the builders video. It kind of reminds me, and I mean it as a compliment, but the kind of thing that Nick would watch on Netflix if it was on Netflix, as like where people like behind the scenes of a Web3 company. Like if we wanted to see like what was behind the scenes of Facebook as Facebook was on the rise. And I think what they're doing it might not necessarily be popular now today, or if it is, it's just in our ecosystem. But if Pudgy Penguins manage to reach the goals that they want to reach and manage to get to the scale that they want to reach, they will have content going from when they were a young startup all the way to the success that they will have in the future. And that will make it, and that will give the company a more compelling narrative and real provenance in video content that lives on forever. And frankly, I think out of all the PFP companies, out of all like the PFP companies who are doing content, I think they're doing some of the most original content. But obviously you can see that they put a lot of money into it and the cost of production is much higher. But I love like the drama that they're trying to bring when I think this is at Comic-Con and something's gone wrong with the giant Pudgies. They don't look like how they wanted the giant Pudgies to look like. And I think looking back on that in 4 or 5 years time will be something that they'll be laughing at as they become bigger and go on that path to growth. So they're killing it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, already 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. Not bad at all. YouTube's a tough platform to grow subscriber, just a achieve subscriber growth. Very cool content there. Clemente, why don't we roll out the free NFT before we wrap?
Yes, sir. The password for today's free NFT is Rain45. Rain45. Sorry, I got the little ticker going. You can go claim that at thenifty.com/claim. And this is in collaboration with Blue, the artist for today's free NFT spotlight. And we got a little, hold on, just trying to pull it up on the website. But in the meantime, we will tweet it out, and you can also see the pin tweet for that.
Yep. Claim code RAIN45, RAIN45. This is the artist BlooWoods, 3D artist and
there's
animator.
An error in this.
Sorry?
I think this NFT may not be set up properly.
Yeah. It seemed like people were claiming it in the Discord. It sounds like, ladies and gentlemen, there might be an error. I'm sure it'll get fixed. I know some people had successfully claimed. You should also check out the companion drop on Manifold. It's titled Temporary. Very, very cool 3D artwork on Manifold. So that's at BlooWoods, BLOOWOODS on Manifold. Clemente has the pinned has a tweet pinned that has the link to this Manifold drop, little companion drop for the free NFT by BlooWoods. Make sure you follow Blue on Twitter also. Very, very cool stuff. We love having talented artists on Artist Spotlight on the show. Artist Spotlight, again, is designed to showcase talented artists in the space. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. We do the show Monday through Friday right here on Twitter Space. It's also available on YouTube if you want to watch the YouTube stream. It came to my attention that some people actually listen to the show on Twitter Spaces on desktop. What are you doing? If you're on desktop, watch the video on YouTube. If you want to share the show with people outside of the Twitter bubble, you can share the Apple or Spotify podcast link, really wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure you have an account at thenifty.com to claim the free NFTs every day. Today, if you go to thenifty.com/claim and you put in the code RAIN45, RAIN45, like it's raining outside, then you can claim the free NFT by BlooWoods. Very talented artist.